This was the quarter in which Netflix cracked down on password sharing and introduced an ad tier. Now, the subscriber ad number was a big beat, yet the second quarter revenue and the third quarter revenue outlook missed analyst estimates. What do you think that reflects?
Yeah, this is a little bit befuddling, right? Because one would think that just by posting that much of subscriber additions, it's almost triple what consensus was expecting at about 2 million, that you would also see that corresponding increase in, revenue growth. I think what has happened is most people have taken the lower priced ad tier, which has kind of driven down ARPU. What Netflix had initially said was that they will be able to make up that shortfall in ARPU through advertising commitments. Now we have to wait and see on the call, get more clarity to see whether maybe the advertising market was soft, whether maybe they were not able to kind of make up, that shortfall in ARPU. So that's a little bit of, there's a little bit of unclarity there that we need resolved.
So just to be clear, Geetha, I mean, are they not disclosing in any sort of detail that type of ad revenue?
No, not yet.
Because
they haven't.
Okay, because I asked that question because it's pretty simple math here. I think anybody with half a brain can see what's happening here. And we were sold on this idea that somehow that ad revenue would be enough to make up for people switching or going down to that ad tier away from the higher price subscription tier here. If they do not make that up in ad revenue, then what becomes a growth story here for Netflix going forward?
Yeah, so let's remember a couple of things. So first of all, the ad business is still a very nascent business. This just came on board about, a few months ago, 7-8 months ago. So they still have to put a lot of the plumbing, a lot of the infrastructure in place. So that's point number one. The second thing is they kind of introduced advertising at a very tricky time. So the digital ad marketplace has held up okay, but it is still extremely choppy. And we know that advertisers have kind of looked for a lot of flexibility. So again, they haven't necessarily given us any numbers in terms of how many people are on that ad tier. They haven't told us what, the advertising revenue is. So again, we do need some more clarity, but the growth story is definitely going to be a revenue reacceleration story. It's a little bit, again, this quarter seems like a little bit of a one-off, but I think if we kind of look at 2023, the second half of 2023, as well as 2024, obviously their plan is working. The password crackdown is working. We're seeing that in terms of the new subscription numbers. And that happens only if if people kind of take that ad tier or they sign up for a new plan. So it is working, but it might just take a little bit more time to kind of translate into the financial metrics.